Yeah. Yeah, Tony's pointing out the bitter ender. And that's, it can be true of many things in life. It's not just the Boer War, it can be a stubborn resistance to the inevitable, that for your moral ground you're going to stand your piece, even if there's suffering involved. Just to say, I'm not going to bend bandoliers, Mausers maybe,
I think it will be Mausers.
or some Martini Henrys they've stolen, or Enfields. So we can see how thin the horse is, and he's wearing rags, but he's saying, I'm not surrendering.
We're totally up. The British underestimated these people, eh?
So this is talking about Fontaine, where the Boer artillery was shifted around. They proved themselves very adept, and Fontaine was one of the battles of Black Week where the British really did cop a hiding. And this is quite a magnificent sort of panorama of the Boer gunners. We've entered the Boer War Museum at Bloemfontein, which is the best in the world. We've got some memorabilia for Christian de Wet. His exploits captured the imagination of Europe, made him into a brandy bottle. Christian's Bible, perhaps. Christian Rudolph de Wet, there's that famous photo of him. You really need to look him up if you don't know who de Wet is. The British could never catch him, he was a slippery eel. Although the Australians did catch one of his convoy wagons one time, we heard about that in one of my episodes. There's that Christian's saddle. Goodness, there's a big Bible, Tony.
Sorry, you must tell me when you're talking. I don't want
No, I want to capture you. If you want to tell me things, I want to hear you, yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to tell you great news. I've got to take a farmer for Pink Hill. He won't be there, but his wife is going to be there.
Good.
So we're going to do West Australia Hill tomorrow first. I want to try and keep it in sequence.
Yeah.
And then Pink Hill tomorrow, which I haven't been to.
Okay.
So,
Fantastic.
right.
Yeah.
But these things here were actually in a theatre in Holland, and they were covered with wallpaper. Mm-hmm. And when they were renovating this theatre up, and I think it was in Rotterdam, they discovered these beautiful tiles. And you know, this was an artist who never came to the battlefields. If you look at the terrain, you can see he had no clue.
Yeah.
You know, look at Spionkop. You know, he's made it one big massive mountain. But you know, these are unique. It's depicting all the different battles, or should I say, some of the battles.
Because it really was one of these multimedia wars. People could buy coffee cups with their Boer War general or their English general cigarette cards, or they could buy plates to commemorate the fall of Pretoria.
Yeah.
You know, it was a commercial.
And here is a gentleman who knows this war like the back of his hand. Louis Fenter.
Hello, Louis.
Cherry.
Hello there, Louis. Pleased
Very
to
much
meet you.
interested in the war from Australia. Wow, okay. So and he's doing. I'm taking him tomorrow to West Australia Hill, Colesberg, Pink Hill.
All right.
All those
Interesting.
Australian battlefields. So,
Congratulations on yesterday.
oh yeah. But they beat us, eh? Yeah, they beat us, but quite rightly so. How are you keeping, young man?
Well, I'm just going to fix it with myself now.
Here's some swords of de Wet. We'll go and look at these. I actually wasn't even going to come and look at these, but these were in a... Yeah, I'm glad Tony pointed these out. Lady Smith. These are British soldiers that were captured being marched off by the Boers. And some of these are, well, these are the Boer generals. De Kock, Costa, we don't know him. Costa, we don't know much about him. Modder River, we're going there, Tony?
Yeah, we're going there. That's what I call a draw between British and Boers.
And the Lancers.
Yeah, but again, take note of the terrain.
Yeah.
Trust me, there's
not-
nothing
it's not
like
like
that.
that, yeah.
So you can see that the artist who was in Holland was just going by hearsay, what was all in the newspaper reports.
It was front page news. Stormberg, that's part of Black Week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Black Week. That's right.
Muggers Fontaine.
We're going to be going there as well.
Also, there's the kilts. Yeah, they lay all day in the sun. Their legs got burnt.
Listed, yes, right.
Colenso, we've been to Colenso. There's the saving of the guns. There's Freddie Roberts.
That's right.
We went to his grave.
Did you go to his grave?
Yeah, we went to the spot where the guns were lost.
Well, there's a mistake there.
Spearn Cop. We know about that.
The Acre of Death.
That's right. They are there, the Lancastrians.
Yeah.
Gee, that's a nice sticker, that.
Yeah, that's the Louis Botha. Well, he was there on the Eastern Front. Later become the first Prime Minister of South Africa.
De Wet,
The vet.
Paardeberg, that was
That's where the Boers surrendered.
that was Cronje, Piet Cronje.
February.
He got tied up with the
Now-
women and children.
That's right. The biggest thing here is that they were at the banks of the Modder River. The British soldiers were so thirsty they drank the polluted waters of the Modder River, and many of those soldiers died here in Bloemfontein, typhoid and other diseases. So, yeah.
It's like a memorial drinking glass that was sold as a souvenir in the Cafe Transvalia. As I said to Tony just then, you could buy all sorts of memorabilia as the Orange Free State. Frenchman that served with the Boers, I guess, in Redesburg.
We're going to see where he's Norma and Kruger.
Right. An attempt to divert.
You see, just before the war started, 31st of May 1899.
At this table, Kruger and Milner, the British, convened by Stein to try and avert war. They sat at this table. I love those lamps.
Yeah, stunning, isn't it? Yeah.
And it all happened again on the 31st of May.
Yeah. Important dates. Peace of Vereniging, the Union was formed, and then the Republic.
Wow, look at this chair.
Yeah,
Solid
unfortunately
wood.
the conference fell on deaf ears. Everybody had their own agendas, so the war
Yeah.
didn't start. So.
I mean, they kept pressuring Kruger for more and more rights for the Uitlanders, but
They didn't materialise.
Is
Now,
it?
if you look here, Jay, sorry, I wanna
yeah,
see
go on.
Now, the artist,
Huge,
you
big,
look at this gentleman here, that's
huge.
the Boer uniform.
No,
Now, I've heard that they had American advisors,
yeah.
and I'm wondering if that's some American soldier.
Ah, this is a siege of Ladysmith, so I wonder where Wagon Hill, where we were. We're not sure. Oh, actually, Wagon Hill might be over here.
I'm not too sure.
I reckon that's perhaps Wagon Hill,
Top.
because that's the town.
Yeah, and that's the Tugela River running there.
Yeah, okay, well, we've just come from Ladysmith, so.
Yeah, that's right. Where did you stay in Ladysmith?
Where? I stayed at Buller's Rest, of course.
Of course. I always say take the time there.
Yeah.
There you go, there's Colenso.
The Battle of Colenso. Yeah, no, that's where the guns were, I'd say.
That's where Freddie Roberts lost his life.
The guns, perhaps.
Beautiful paintings.
Yeah,
And actually, it gives you then a bit of an idea of what actually happened.
that's right. It's hard to. We might have actually gone over that old bridge. There is an old bridge still
There is
into
an old bridge
Colenso.
there. Yeah, it could be that one. Yeah.
A lot of this stuff's been relocated to save it. Delalay.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this one? Spienkop, yeah, once again.
Yeah, regrettably, which I've noticed, and since you've come onto the scene with this for me, is that there's nothing on the Australian, no big paintings of Australian battlefields, regrettably.
Yeah.
Or New Zealanders, or,
No.
very little. It's just showing more the big battles, the big ones.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Won't take it personally.
Not for me.
As a coal scoop.
This This is the Lord Roberts Hall.
The Lord Roberts Hall of section, and that they acknowledge them is, I think.
You come this way around too.
Do you? Oh, we start here. Okay.
The famous picture of Sir John Rhodes.
And with his foot's in the Cape, other foot in Egypt. We know a bit about that. Here's Baden Powell. We know a bit about that. We saw that when we were in Mafeking. Kimberley we haven't been to yet, but that's on our agenda. Ladysmith we know. There's White. We went to White's headquarters. There's Churchill when he was captured. We went to Churchill's capture site.
That's right.
Chevalier, that's right. Now, yeah, so we've been following down in KwaZulu Buller's. There he is, his drive up. But now we're going to concentrate more on Roberts and Kitchener as they come up through the Northern Cape. And the setbacks. So that's Black Week, Muggersfontein, Stormberg, Colenso. This is stuff that will be explored. There's some bit of siege memorabilia from Ladysmith. Those cups, as I was saying, you could buy your mementos. I've got a couple of plates at home, one for Hector MacDonald and one for Lord Roberts.
Oh, wow.
There's a shell.
Yeah.
There's a handkerchief with our heroes.
The dugout which is during the siege. Don't even take one of them, but yeah, if you want to.
That's the armoured train, is it?
Yeah, part of it. This is A on the ground.
So after they'd been sat on their bums, the British, they decided a new technique and they flooded in more reinforcements. It wasn't the pushover that they thought it might be. And Paardeberg to Bloemfontein.
Yeah. They came into Bloemfontein on the 13th of March 1900.
Here they are in Bloemfontein. Is that where we just were? Is that where we got that plaque?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
We saw that plaque just a little ago. Convinced a policeman to let us in for a moment. Here's a kilted, maybe a Gordon Highlander or somebody.
Yeah, I'm not too sure there.
I think they could wear.
Remember, they put now the khaki over the kilt and to hide the spot on. So, because the spot on was a perfect target.
Shine, yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought the kilt was khaki, but it's just
it's an apron.
It's an apron, yeah,
it's
right.
An apron which they put across the kilt. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was also then later on that the officers didn't have revolvers, but they carried rifles.
These are the people we don't think about who helps the army move, the medical corps, the engineers. There's a letter. The British media, there were news correspondents here.
That's right. Winston Churchill was one of them.
Yeah, and we went to a grave of a war correspondent in Ladysmith. Pretoria is ours, and Fall
there's
Pretoria.
one in Newport, but I don't know if I should take you out there because it's in such a bad state. But there's also a war correspondent killed there.
Cigarettes on the road to Pretoria. Do you know that song?
You're marching to Pretoria.
Yeah, I wonder who wrote that. Ladysmith, Kimberley. Oh, these are the sieges. Mafeking. Bit of a wait.
You know, the Naval Brigade. Remember I was telling you as well, Royal Navy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Naval Hill.
Yeah, Naval Hill. Certain guns were given names, such as Lady Roberts and Joe Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Long Cecil, you can see a replica of him in Kimberley. There you go. There's
There he is.
Marais. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Marais. Sue's mum was singing this for us.
Oh. Yeah,
She's from Holland. Oh, that looks like the Royal Hotel, maybe. There you go, Sue.
Ladysmith, yeah. Siege of Ladysmith, yeah. Yeah.
You recognise it, Sue?
Yeah.
Sari Murray. So they thought once Pretoria is ours, they thought that the war was over. Little did they understand the tenacity. That looks like a heliograph.
That's it. those words. We also got Signal Hill here in Bloemfontein, named after this instrument. Yeah.
And there's a medical kit.
Yeah.
Emergency rations. Here's some of the camps. The scorched earth policy period. Homes burnt, farms destroyed, livestock slaughtered. Barbed wire fencing for the blockhouses. It's an entrenching tool. So yeah, we've been to a couple of blockhouses. We've been to that sort.
Have you?
We went to one at Bella Bella.
Oh yeah.
This is a rice blockhouse,
right,
which
yeah,
is
circular one.
corrugated iron.
We're going to pass a replica one today.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I love a good blockhouse. You can see what they look like inside.
Okay. Kitchen.
Yep. He's not very popular around here. Oh, look at this jacket. All the different badges from the regiments. And some pins, some buttons you could buy and wear your patriotic buttons for your heroes in the war. Beautiful units here. Lancasters, Irish rifles. They look like some Australians.
Yeah, they got all the different. Yeah.
They're Australians.
Probably. Doesn't say.
They were for horsemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the helmet, the pith helmet wasn't suitable, so the men started adopting the slouch hats. So Australia, there's Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't invent the slouch hat, I hate to tell you Australians, but we certainly modified it, but I don't think we invented it. There's some New Zealanders, Maoris, some cricket.
What did it say? You had Maoris, you had Aboriginals here.
Yeah.
Soldiers as well. Scouts.
Some Queen's medals. I got one of those at home.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene, I don't know if we can see it through the glass. It's quite an emotive setting. It's a destroyed Boer house with all their belongings on the ground. The windows all burnt out, the roofs all burnt out. There's a picture of Slim Pit on the wall that's affected by fire damage, and it's the ruin of a Boer homestead with their sewing table, their iron, everything destroyed in an effort to end this war, end this infernal war. This is all I can't show you everything obviously because it's a huge museum. Concentration camps form a big part of the story. Emily Hobhouse was the woman who brought it to the attention of the British, and then public opinion turned. This looks like Queen Victoria's knickers, maybe. I can't read it. There's a section on Kruger. We've seen quite a lot of Kruger on this holiday, haven't we? We're still going to see a bit more. Stain. We're in Martinus Thenus Staines, capital city now, Bloemfontein. Got to say, it's less crowded. Parking's good. This is President Steyn. He didn't run. He didn't flee. He stuck around. And he's buried out here at the memorial. There's some items of his that he would have used in his legislative. Oh, here's a cricket bat. Cricket. You know, I'm not sure it's talking about cricket. It was popular among the prisoners Are we talking the Boer or the English cricketers, prisoners? Some Indians. Kakul, a prisoner. Oh, I see these are items that were held by the Boer prisoners of war overseas. These are some of the things they made. And they had put on a play. This is on St. Helena. At St. Helena, that's where they kept Napoleon. British sent them off to these places, and these things that they made would have been made with bones from their food, you know. To keep yourself occupied when you're a prisoner of war, it looks like I'm going backwards. So these are all prisoner of war type things. The prisoners of war were housed in tents or huts depending on the camp's location. Talawa would be in Ceylon. I would have been kept in Ceylon. Apparently they're still in some parts of South America and Ceylon speak a bit of Afrikaans from that time back. This is stuff that was made in Ceylon in the camps. I mean, a lot of these men, the Boers, would never have been overseas. They would never have seen a ship. So that's a little carriage made by prisoners. If you see that Antiques Roadshow, you often see people selling things made by the French Napoleonic prisoners of war. There's some Kruger cigarettes. Bryant and May still make matches, I think. So, you know, when they were away, they still like their pipes. This is for them to... And this is, they would have had like a wood lathe or something to make these as a wooden bugle. These are made in Bermuda. Obviously they had more access to wood in Bermuda. I imagine it would be hot and humid. There was probably a lot of disease in the prisoner of war camps in Bermuda. There's a fantastic wooden wagon a prisoners made in Shangpur. I'm not sure where Shangpur is. Probably India. Here's a chess set made by a Boer prisoner. Pretty nice, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, these are South African camps. Prisoners of war were held in 4 South African camps. Kept them right down on the coast, Durban and Cape Town. Ceylon. I don't know if you read earlier in regards to the scorched earth business. Here's some Boer guys, prisoners, with their soccer ball. It was saying that a bit like the scorched earth like the Israelis do. So if a farm or a vicinity, a district, had an outbreak of attacks against British forces, the whole district was punished. The British Army would go in and burn the farms and destroy the crops of that district to try and discourage the war from continuing. This section covers the outbreak of the war, the ultimatum given to the British, some of the flags of the Boer republics, we're going to look at a Boer as he is about to depart for war. He obviously doesn't know what to expect here. He hopes, he prays for a quick victory. They've beaten the British once before in BW1, and he's got God on his side. That's a big thing, but he's got a bit of kit there. Oh, I can't tell you what's in his bags. He's got his saddle bag, he's got his pipe, matches, Bible. Well, I don't think you wouldn't travel with a big Bible like that, would you? There's a flask at the back, maybe for water, maybe a little bit of brandy for sustenance. He's got his bandoliers, he's got his Mauser. We saw that beautiful statue out the front where the Boer is riding off, and he has to say goodbye to his wife. He doesn't know how long he'll be gone, and he could never have imagined the ferocity that the British and Boer would inflict on each other. So there's a few goodies here. A bayonet taken from a British soldier by a burgher, Franz Erasmus, after the Battle of Stormberg. Number 7 is looks interesting. That's a British naval gun projectile casing. It's got the Free State coat of arms. Not sure why. They've probably painted it on to send it back to the Boers, because it was fired at the Boers. A nice pair of boots there. Number 11 is boots of burgher Alain de Villiers. He fell at Speenkop. He died at Speenkop, those boots. The boots. Oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful cutlass. 17, a sabre taken from a British officer at Speenkop. Field Cornet Schmidt. You say, okay, hands up, khaki. Hands up, British. Grab his sword, and then you march him down the side of Speenkop to go and take the train to Pretoria. It's where the British were kept. Of course, we've got a fantastic collection of guns. Oh, look at the pistols too. British Webleys. That's what the officers carried, a Webley. A commercial model. That's the most common handgun of the Boer War, the Webley Mark IV. I think the British officers had them on string in their holsters. Bayonets. No wonder the Boers feared that. You see a bloody bayonet coming at you. These are the Lee Metfords that the British carried, the Lee Enfields. Martini Henrys from the Zulu War. I'm not a gun expert by any means. We might see some of those carved hilts here. We do see. So we've got a Mauser carbine. It's a shorter rifle that they had a saddle sling. Keep it in your saddle bag as you were riding. Shoot from the hip. A long Mauser rifle. Note the name on the back, Kutsi. Some of them put their battle honours on the back of or on the hilts of their rifles. It's a sporting Mauser. And that's a British Lee Enfield. And this belonged to a reverend. He voted against peace at Vereeniging. He wanted to keep fighting, the good reverend. Here's a few more unusual guns. Mauser carbine is well used. It's got some initials there, JC something. Mauser, can't see any German writing on them. OBS. So some of these were bought by the Boer republics from Britain. Martini Henry long rifles. The Orange Free State bought 500 of these, and 500 carbines from an agent in Bloemfontein. The British guns used against British soldiers. Here's the old styles of. That's a Mauser pistol. They must have had like a magazine in them. And that's like almost like a primitive sort of Sten gun. As I said, I'm not. Whoa. Everywhere you turn around here, there's more stuff to see. The bandoliers, they all wore them, didn't they? 3 different Boer Mauser bandoliers. Boers wore homemade varieties. The most common official one has 12 pouches, open at the bottom. Each pouch capable of carrying a clip of 5 Mausers. So yeah, each of those has 5, a clip in it. What's it? 3, 6, 9, 10. So it's 10. What's that? 50 rounds? Okay. Sporting Mausers. More rifles. Oh, there's some that I'm talking about with the carving. See that? Mauser carbine, the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republic coat of arms, and there's Kruger on the hilt. Oh, you can see some carving there. Beautiful old names, and there's another one with the Zuid-Afrikaanse, the Transvaal coat of arms. There's a guy on YouTube who specialises in guns, Boer guns that have people's names and battles carved into the hilt. He tries to track down who they may be. What's this stuff? Rusty. Oh, there's a rusty gun they found somewhere. A rusty bayonet. Here's some more bandoliers. Oh, fantastic guns, aren't they? Majuba. Okay. Sometimes when they had to hand their guns in, the Boers, and they had to sign these pledges of allegiance, they'd hand in these old crappy guns and they'd keep their good stuff hidden or buried. So here's we've been here. We followed Buller making his way to Ladysmith. Once he broke through at Ladysmith, he's gone up that way, and we will be following this route. They also came from the Cape, and they eventually Roberts came up the middle, and Buller came up there, and we were there when they met, the two, at the Battle of I can't remember the name. It's an Afrikaans, but it was a huge Boer monument we saw, and that's where the first time when Roberts and Buller's armies met. This is a magnificent sort of. It's a Boer throttling a lion. And once again, these things were made by prisoners, according to this. An inkwell of Pitkronje. Number 2. Oh yeah, that little brass thing is an inkwell of Pitkronjes. Paardeberg. Yeah, we're going there. Number 8 is the waistcoat of 24-year-old Hendrik Jacobus van der Merwe. He was from Senegal. We went through Senegal yesterday, and I was asking Tony about, there's a sign for a battle just out of Senegal. Fortunately, Tony said, there's nothing there to see, so I was tempted to stop. Number 9 is a remains of a Mauser they found on the Paardeberg battlefield. See that? They dug that up, the remains of a Mauser. Here's some of these big shells. And number 2 is a long tom projectile found at Bergendal. That could be the battle I'm talking about. Bergendal. Yeah, all 4 were used at the Battle of Bergendal. That's where I'm talking about, where Roberts and Buller met for the first time. There's Sabre has the Transvaal coat of arms. So you remember that there's some of them there. The only professional soldiers in the Boer armies were these artillerymen, that they actually had uniforms. had lots of forts around Bloemfontein and Pretoria. Here's a Free State artilleryman. They've got a uniform too, very much like the Germans, isn't it? And there's some of the type of shells they would have been, like a pom-pom shell, aren't they? Some of those. Yeah, that's what it says, number 9 for a crop mountain cannon, but number 8 is a pom-pom. That's the one like Alan gave me to look at. Number 12 is a crop. Okay. When we started this video, we saw that view of the guns. They were crops being used at the one of the battles. These are beautiful uniforms of the artillerymen from the Boer republics. I love that stitching. That's a bit like Jimi Hendrix had on one of his jackets. I love it. And the beautiful blue. So these guys were real fancy pants. The medical services. There was some foreign sympathy for the Boers, but it never really materialised for much. But that tin's nice. What's that? Number 3 is a tin. Items like this cake tin with contents were sold in the Netherlands during the war to raise money for the Boers. These are things in Europe that advertised. Yeah, people could see the Boers were being bullied. But who's going to stand up to Britain at that stage of history? Scorched earth. These are more things regarding the blockhouses. That's a rice blockhouse. Number 14, model of a British rice blockhouse. So it's round and it's got the corrugated iron. That's what makes it a rice blockhouse. These are some Afrikaner geese. If you hear them honking, folks, they actually honk in Afrikaans. Ja, hoe aan dit?
Hoe gaan het? Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Goose. Yeah.
When they got youngsters, they can be quite aggressive.
Yeah. They used my husband was terrified of our geese.
Yeah.
Ours was Hagar. Hagar the Viking.
Yeah, the Viking. Yeah, that's it.
Right, so they're pretty happy, and they've got a sprinkler over there. They can go and sprinkle.
Got a pond over there as well. On the other side.
So they live here.
Yeah, no, they live with donkeys as well. So I don't know. They just add to the memorial.
The ambience.
Yeah.
It actually tells you some feathered friends that live here.
Yeah, some more birds. And now that it's summer, we got a lot of migratory birds coming down from the northern hemisphere.
Right.
Coming down. Yeah. Butcher bird.
People love these in Australia, the guinea fowl.
That's it.
Very good for keeping insects down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, here they just roam wild. They farm them here as well for meat.
Do they?
As well, yeah. Yeah, we even got a bird in South Africa called the forked-tailed drongo. And I know in Australia, drongo's got another, but we've got a bird called
Maybe
drongo.
that's where we got the word.
I don't know. Yeah.